Hello everyone, my name is ShadowRock and welcome to part 2 of the ongoing Mega Man Universe Secrets coverage, as well as some more general Mega Man news. Yes, as you can tell from the title, this is part 2, because in part 1 we talked about the soundtrack of Mega Man Universe, as well as the designs for the Robot Masters for Mega Man 2. So if you want to know more about that stuff and you missed it, check out our previous video. As for this one, Protodude was at it again, and just like he promised, he has given us a glimpse at two new characters that were originally supposed to make their appearance in Mega Man Universe. Of course, the game was cancelled long before we ever got to see these two, so this is completely brand new to us. So in Mega Man Universe, Mega Man and Roll was supposed to have two additional sisters. Now, we don't know the actual names for these characters, but currently we're going with the names Glasses and Met respectively. And pretty much these characters would accompany Roll in hosting the different modes of the game. Roll is in charge of the character creation and customization modes. The character on the left, Glasses, supervises the network mode, where you can upload and share the stages that you have created. Speaking of creating stages, that's what Met is there for. She oversees the construction mode where you can actually create your stages. Because as we've said before, Mega Man Universe is pretty much Mega Man Maker, at least an official one, before it was cancelled. Now according to Rockman Corner sources, Met was a little aloof but extraordinarily passionate in her craft. Construction and engineering were her forte, thanks in no small part to her Metar-based brain, which of course you can tell just from her head. You can see that Metar symbol that we all know and love. She's got the wrench, and the rest of her aesthetic really gives off the impression that she's more of like a construction worker, and she knows how to build stages and things thanks to her Metar brain. Of course, because she has a puny Metar brain, she's probably not all that smart, probably more brawn than brain, but at least she knows how to create some good stages, at least we would hope so. Now, Glasses is described as a walking, talking internet modem. When speaking to the player, her dialogue was direct, formal, and calculated. She would, however, occasionally break character to reveal a penchant for candy and sweets. Given that she's the host of the network mode, it makes a lot of sense considering in her design here, she has a little laptop she's working on the servers and things, probably. And of course she has the little tail there as an antenna, which kind of brings together the whole network thing. Honestly, she reminds me a lot of Lair from Mega Man X8. I wonder if that was kind of an inspiration for her. Rockman Corner goes on to say that Met and Glasses actually did not appear in Mega Man Universe's Mega Man 2 inspired story mode. They were only going to appear in their own respective modes, at least up until the game's cancellation. Maybe they could have appeared in the story mode if development actually continued, but as of when the game got cancelled, they were only going to be in their own modes. That's the only time you would get to see them. So that's a little sad, but it would have indeed been interesting if these characters were incorporated into Mega Man 2 in some way. In the original Mega Man 2, there wasn't a whole lot of story going on, obviously, because of the NES game. You pretty much just went straight from stage to stage, in usual Mega Man fashion, so having a little bit more personality there with each of these characters would have added a bit more to it. And yeah, that pretty much covers it for these two brand new characters, which we're calling Glasses and Met. We don't know the actual full names though, unfortunately. What are you guys' thoughts on these characters? Definitely tell me in the comments below. I think they're a little weird, but you know, not too bad at all. I think they could have been pretty interesting, at least in the context of Mega Man Universe. I mean, it was already a pretty freaking weird game already, so this would have just added to the zaniness of this game. Fan artists, get your tools ready. It's time to make some fan art. And actually, we only really have one other Mega News update to share with you today. Since over in the Mega Man X Dive Facebook page, they've mostly been posting memes and more memes. Guess they're trying to buy time for whatever they decide to do next. But Capcom Japan is still going full swing with their announcements for the Rockman Live 2020 concert that's happening in 2020. It's in the name. They have announced 3 new tracks for this concert. Operation from Rockman EXE, Departure from Rockman 02, and Through the Lightning from Rockman ZX Advent. All very good choices. They have also announced their special guests for these concerts. Of course, we got Uchi-san from Rockman Unity, get your faces on people. We have MCU from Kick the Can crew, who is a familiar face actually because he was just involved with the Rockman and Team Shachi collaboration project just a few weeks ago. And actually the Team Shachi music video is already live. Now the last guest that's going to be there is of course Rockman and Blues EXE from the Battle Network series. These are the mascot characters that have been around a lot in recent years at the Hanayashiki events. And yep, they're making an appearance once again. They've really been promoting Mega Man Battle Network recently in recent years, and now we got those tracks going on and this Rockman Live 2020 event, and then we're hearing rumors about a Battle Network mobile game happening sometime in 2020 perhaps. So it seems like the next series that's going to make a big comeback may indeed be Mega Man Battle Network. Wouldn't that be cool? Now speaking of our special guests, it seems like Uchi-san is going to try to deliver a secret episode with the participation of the special guests and band members to deliver information. What information? We don't really know. But I wouldn't expect anything big like previous Japanese only events. Also, if you happen to be a super VIP ticket holder for this concert, you'll get the original wireless speaker that we've seen before, and also a greeting card from Yuji Ishihara. If you want that super VIP ticket, prepare to spend a lot because it is a whopping 25,000 yen. Or about 227 US dollars. Woo! By the way, in case you don't know, Yuji Ishihara has worked on a lot of Mega Man games for character design and art direction, including Mega Man Battle Network, Mega Man Star Force, Mega Man Legends, and most recently Mega Man 11. Yep, he was the art director on that game. So if you do get that VIP ticket, you can get his little greeting card, which is pretty nice if you are into that. Now before we end off, I do have to give a slightly interesting update to a story that we reported on earlier this week. In particular, the story where we talked about how WildBrain, or formerly DHX Media, was uploading episodes for Mega Man Fully Charged on the official YouTube channel. Well, since we reported on that story, it seems like WildBrain has actually taken down those episodes and made them private. We don't know why they did this, but that certainly raises an eyebrow. Maybe there was a change in plans and now they're talking about possibly hosting the episode somewhere else, like Netflix or Hulu or something else. That remains to be seen, but if we hear anything else about what's going on with Mega Man Fully Charged, including if we ever do see a Season 2, we'll be sure to let you guys know. So, do you remember when I said that we were pretty much done here? I lied. There's more to talk about. If you thought that the Dragalia Lost crossover, Mega Man X Dive, the rumored Mega Man Battle Network mobile game, and many other mobile crossovers weren't enough for you, here's yet another one. Elemental Story, a Match 3 RPG for iOS and Android, is having a crossover with Mega Man X. And you can see the image of X himself right here. We don't have many details on this crossover at the moment, but we are supposed to get those details on Friday, October 25th, as part of a special broadcast on YouTube. After that, the crossover event itself is going to begin on October 31st. So that's really soon. In the meantime, enjoy your announcement of an announcement. And while we're on the topic of mobile games, there's another one I forgot to mention. It's the card mobile game, Teppen, which as you know features lots of Capcom characters including the Mega Man X series. Once again, another expansion is coming out for Teppen, the second one, and the expansion is known as Devil's Awaken. In the Devil's Awaken expansion, there will be a brand new card for Torchbearer Axel. Torchbearer Axel is going to be a new red legendary card. It's pretty cool that Axel is finally getting his own card, and it's going to be a legendary nonetheless. We got a little tease of Axel and Teppen's art style back in the previous expansion, but this time, he's a full-on card, and this art just looks amazing. This art comes to us by the way of Regis Killban on Twitter, and they explained that they revealed this artwork during a Teppen stream showing off the reveal for the new Devil's Awaken expansion, which was this Torchbearer Axel. What do you think of this Axel art? Looks pretty excellent, right?
Move this man!
Now, one of the big topics of discussion among Mega Man fans recently is, well, the future of the Blue Bomber. What's he gonna do next? What's gonna happen? Well, there's already a lot going on, of course, but even more discussion has propped up recently when Capcom recently had their fiscal year quarterly report, where they talked about things like Mega Man 11, quote unquote, performing well once again. No sign if it finally reached that 1 million sales goal, but the Platinum title should update soon, if not already, so we'll probably know the verdict then. But the most interesting thing coming out of the fiscal year report is the fact that Capcom is interested in reviving old or dormant franchises thanks to the massive successes they've seen from both Resident Evil 2 Remake and Devil May Cry 5. Now it begs the question, what are they going to revive? There's a ton of answers for sure, but for our purposes, people were hoping that maybe they're going to bring back other Mega Man, like Mega Man Legends 3 for example, which I would totally be on board for. I would go crazy if that actually happened. To me though, I think it's only a matter of time. So far, it's not even a question whether Mega Man's coming back or not. He's already coming back as of the last year or two. Starting with Mega Man 11 and all the collections, Capcom has already been doing a pretty great job of reviving the Mega Man brand. And we can see that they're still doing things like Mega Man X Dive, this rumored Battle Network mobile game. Not to mention, they already have a new mainline Mega Man game currently in development. We don't know what that title is, but something is definitely coming. And we've already heard many interviews where Kazuhiro Tsuchiya, the new head of Mega Man, has just been talking about how he already has a roadmap internally at Capcom of what he wants to do with Mega Man for the next 10 years or even beyond that. So Capcom is definitely bringing back Mega Man in a big way, and I just think things like Legends 3, if the fans really show their support for it, maybe they'll have a Legends collection come out, people buy that up, and then they'll be like, okay, let's make Legends 3 now. As long as the support is there, I think they're gonna do it. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, maybe not the year after that, but one day, maybe it could come back if the support is there. And that just goes for any series really. Battle Network, Star Force, ZX and Zero, and of course, the one I think they are going to do next, Mega Man X. Mega Man X9 to be exact. That's my personal hope, of course. But it's good to see that Capcom is definitely interested in bringing back their old IPs, because there's definitely miniseries that could use that revival, and that just makes the speculation around what could come next from Capcom even more exciting. I mean, there was that little quote from not that long ago where a Capcom person was saying that they're working on a game that when people see it, people are going to be thinking, oh, they're still making that game. Cool. I don't believe we know what that is yet, so yeah, they're definitely looking at bringing back some of their old stuff. Very, very awesome. Capcom is back. Well folks, that will wrap it up for our Mega Man Universe Part 2 and General Mega News Roundup for today. Thank you so much for watching, and for more on Mega Man, stay tuned to ShadowRockZX as always. Until next time, rock on and have yourselves a great day.